Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. We're here with Billy Hanson. He's partnered with the Maine Veterans Project as part of Mental Health Awareness Month. They're showing his film Bone Cold tonight at the Gracie Theater. Billy, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So this new film, it's kind of a big deal. It's highlighting the struggles of veterans. Can you talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so Bone Cold. It's a psychological horror action thriller. It's a lot of stuff rolled into one, but it's an idea that crept up sort of very organically. I write a lot of stuff that's suspense and horror, and early on I realized I was writing something about someone in the armed forces who's in the field and struggling with his demons. And as soon as I realized I was writing about that, I realized it was about PTSD in a very different way than we've seen it before. So it's grown into a really interesting project.
Yeah, right. So this does appeal to veterans and people who understand those struggles, and that's what you guys are kind of angling it towards, right?
Absolutely. I was very nervous early on because I'm not a veteran myself, and my grandfather served World War II, but it wasn't really part of our lives and part of our family. So I was definitely an outsider coming into this very sensitive part of the military, and I was nervous the first time I showed it to a group of veterans, but thankfully, everyone recognizes what the story's about and what it's doing, and has responded really positively to it.
Boy, it impacts so many people too. I've known some veterans that have come back from Afghanistan and dealt with post-traumatic stress disorder, and they want to put off getting help, but eventually they do. Maybe this will help raise awareness and let them know, hey, it's okay if you want to.
That's the hope. And a lot of the movie talks about struggles with even acknowledging that there's a problem. And it sort of does it in the context of a monster movie, of like a creature feature. So it's a really suspenseful, really sort of action-packed movie, but it has a deeper meaning to it, and it has an overall appeal, I think, for someone who's gone through an experience like that. I think they'll relate to it a lot.
This is really more like a real movie, not so much a documentary.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so it appeals to all sorts of people then, too, not just to raise awareness.
Yeah.
But so the film screening tonight, it's not just the movie, right? You guys are kind of opening it up for some discussion, am I right?
Yeah, and when I knew that we were doing a screening for veterans specifically, I said, well, let's make it more interesting. Let's dig a little deeper into it. So we're having a man named Dr. David Prescott, who was a Hanson University professor and who deals with PTSD in the modern military. So we're going to have a sort of a lengthy discussion about the movie and how it was made and all that fun stuff, but also what it means in today's military and how people speak about PTSD these days.
Yeah. So what a valuable way for folks in the community to come out and feel a sense of support, because people are trying to learn about these things.
Yeah, absolutely. And with films in general, there's such big projects that I hesitate to stop doing things after the movie comes out. Like the movie was released a year ago, but I always try to push things. I always try to make the most of things. And I said, well, we have this movie that's about PTSD. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. I know the Maine Veterans Project. Let's do this thing so everyone can kind of gravitate towards it and talk about it at the same time. So
awesome. Great message. All right, Billy, thanks so much for joining us.
Details, $5 a ticket, you said? Something like that?
$5 a ticket.
There's
still tickets available. You can go to eventbrite.com. You can find us on there. There will be tickets available at the door, but I encourage everyone to do it first because we don't want to rush and have to exclude people at the door.
Again, at Gracie Theater
at the Gracie
in Bangor.
Theater, yes.
Yep.
If somebody can't make it for whatever reason, but they still want to see this important film, is there a place they can do that?
Yes, it's available on DVD and Blu-ray, and also it's right now streaming exclusively on Tubi.
Cool.
Which is a free app, which is really awesome.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Billy.
Appreciate it.
We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.